Hi, families. I have been working on a new parent education article, and I thought this week might be a great week to share it because the district just sent home a flyer about screen time usage. So this segment is called Screen Time and the Developing Brain. Today's children have more access to screens and devices than ever before. This is a phenomenon that, as parents, I strongly urge you to push against. There are numerous studies on this topic, and I encourage you to conduct your own research. But the long and short of it is that excessive screen time actually changes the chemistry of children's brains and makes them behave more impulsively. A recent study by the National Institute of Health showed that kids who spend more than 2 hours a day on screen time score lower on language and thinking tests in school. Kids who use screens more often than that show a thinning of the brain's cortex, which manages critical thinking and reasoning. In addition, being on a screen does not meet a child's emotional need for regular attention and connection from his parents or caregivers. Children who spend significant amounts of time on screens tend to act out more often to get their attention needs met. And that happens both at home and at school. So educators must overcome increasingly challenging student behavior as well as work to close those academic gaps. It's a problem. So what can we do? Let's set some very common sense limits on screen time usage, both at home and at school. Number one, model moderation in your own use of devices. Adults need to manage their own device addictions. Turn screens off and give full and focused attention to their children several times a day. Children will do what we do, not what we say. 2, no devices or screens during meals for children or adults. Put on some relaxing music, talk to one another. 3, no screens in daily car rides. Long car trips or airplane rides are an exception. They happen infrequently. Do what you need to do to survive those. But if you're turning on a show every time you're heading to school or the grocery store, please stop that. 4, no falling asleep in front of a screen. Bedtime must be screen-free. 5, no devices in restaurants, unless it is absolutely necessary. We have all been there with the tantruming toddler, but try to get through it for as long as you can without. My suggestion is to pack a little bag that stays in the car with some coloring books and travel games and whatnot, things your children might enjoy. Go for as long as you can. Children do need to learn manners and social skills in public settings. 6, do not buy children phones until they are old enough to go places on their own. So I'm talking tween or teen. And when you do buy your child a phone, buy a limited phone that allows calling and texting for emergencies, but not internet usage. 7, do not put televisions in children's bedrooms or playrooms. Toys, books, games, and art supplies are the way to go. 8, as kids get older and do need a computer for homework, put one in a common area of the home to monitor usage. Do not allow screens in children's private spaces. And that's a whole nother talk, but there's a lot of safety concerns with children having unrestricted access to the internet. Number 9, when you do choose to enjoy a movie or a show, and I'm not saying don't do it, I'm saying please do it responsibly and in moderation, but play it on the television, not on a device. Watch with your children as often as you can and use it as a moment of connection. Snuggle, eat some popcorn, talk about what you're watching together. This is the healthiest type of screen time because it does meet our children's emotional needs for our time and focus and attention. And 10, be aware of and challenge the increasing trend of screen use in education. Your child should not be taught by YouTube videos in school. Your child should be taught by a credentialed teacher who has a relationship with him or her. As a parent, I would pull my own children out of a class where screens were being used too often. So as you leave this classroom, I do suggest you pay attention to what's happening in the classroom and push back against this trend of children being on screens all day long. I know it's really tough to walk back usage once it's become a habit, but it is in your child's best interest that you do so. Sit your family down and say, we're going to make a change to make us all healthier and happier. As with any addiction, and that's what it is, you should expect a withdrawal period for a time where you will experience some pushback. Be patient, stay the course. Remember, you are in charge. Calmly hold the boundary and say, no, make another choice. I promise that your children will adjust in time and find other healthier ways to entertain themselves. They do it all day here, they can do it at home too. With patience and consistency, you will enjoy improved behavior and a happy family overall. If you're on board with screen time reduction, but your spouse or parenting partner is not, feel free to bring him or her in and I'll be happy to have a talk. If you can't get your partner to join in your efforts, your children will still benefit from screen time reduction during your care time. Any improvement is better than none at all. And remember, just because it seems that everyone is doing it, everywhere you look, the parent next to you at the shopping cart in the supermarket has a child riding in it, staring at a screen, it doesn't make it okay. Please make healthy decisions for your children so that they can develop properly and succeed in school. Thank you for your time and attention, and I'm always here if you want to talk more on this subject or you have any questions. Take care.